Hi, my name's John Hallard, and I'm going to teach you how to do something that's really kind of exciting. But if you ever tried to store something as a three-hit, especially like a verb or an adjective, so when you hit the go, you can see this one's green, and it's also all capitalized. So when I touch it, because it's green, I know I'm going to get a verb, and because it's capitalized, I know it's not going to talk. So when I touch it, then I get all my verbs tenses, and it's really nice that all INGs end here, so that's hurrying. So if I hit sleep, this location equals sleeping. If I hit drink, this is drinking. So you get the pattern. So if I hit the finger, and I see all these green words related to the things you do with your hand, then when I hit wave, I get your different forms of wave. So this works throughout the whole device. If I hit the apple, then I see this is chew. I can tell that it's green, and I can also tell that it's all capitalized. So now I get the forms of chew, choose, chewing. But what happens is you want to add a new verb, and you want to follow this same architecture. And I apologize that it's a little confusing, but I'm just going to teach you how to do it. So the first thing you have to do is make that page that's going to have the word on it. And the example we're going to use is the word tickle. So when I touch this key, I have to look for a key where I want to store the word tickle. And you look for a spot. This one's kind of a bad one because there's so many icons that are used that it's a little hard to see, but right here is probably a nice spot. So I just usually look at that and see if that makes sense. And it makes sense to me that when a snail crawls across your skin, it tickles. So when I hit this, and you can tickle somebody slow or fast, whatever, but it's a nice visual perceptual location. So I've met those criteria of where is it going to be and why am I putting it there. And you're going to change this second icon to a picture of someone being tickled, so it really doesn't matter, but take that extra step's always worth it. All right, so now here's the actual steps. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to want to create that tickle page so that when you touch this, it actually allows you to make this spot pull up that tickle page. So here's how you do that. The easiest way is to copy a page that already exists and then just customize it. That gives you the go back key, the clear display, and all the icons for tickle. So, or the verb tenses. So let me just show you how to do it. So the first step is copy the page. The reason we're going to copy this finished page is because it only has verbs after it, which makes it easy for you. So the first step is how to copy a page. You start by hitting this key right here, the toolbox key. You then go to the toolbox. That's your second step. So number 2, go to toolbox. Number 3, you hit the one that says create a page. Now once you create the page, I want you to name it the word you're going to be using. I would name mine tickle, and probably I'd also add the word verb. So I'm going to name that tickle, and I'd add verb to it just because it tells me it's the verb for tickle. It gives me all those tenses. Alright, so then once I get tickle verb in there, I say OK. And I don't want to choose a custom grid. I don't want to create one from a template. I want to copy from an existing page. So this would give you the clear display and the go back, but you'd have to create every one of those verb keys. So instead, I'm going to copy from an existing page. When I do that, I'm going to go down. You wouldn't normally have this, I've been playing, but you'll go to this one that says go to PRC stock pages. And when you do, I know this isn't named the way you'd like it to be, but it's going to be named core because it's one of the core words. And then it's going to be called core finish for finished right here. So I had to do more items to find the one that says core finish. When I touch it, you'll see now I'm on I've created this page called tickle verb, but it looks like I'm in finished. But now the nice part is all you have to do, we have the go back, we have the clear display. The nice thing is all I have to do now is change these words to tickle, take out finished or finish, add tickle. Don't forget to add your space. Then after you add tickle, say OK. Now we don't want this to be the icon for tickle, so I'm going to do change icon. And I'm going to spell the icon to find. I'm going to spell the word tickle. You don't even have to spell the whole word. If you can just spell par-ups. Well, you got to get closer than I did. I'm world known for my ability to spell, so I'm going to, whoops. So if I spell tickle, now I get some options for tickle. I like this one with the hand going underneath the arm. But so now you've got that, now you go down here and say choose the next key because you have to change all these. This would be tickle, tickles, tickling. So if I want to change this to tickles, I have to take out finished, and I got to add tickles. And you do this for, don't forget your space after every word. So you're going to do this for all of them. You're just going to do choose next key to define, and then you're going to touch here and you change that to tickling. So one by one you're going to change all these till you get all the tenses. Then you just say OK a few times. Well, now you've created that page, but you haven't told it to pull up yet. So the first step was to create the page, and I'm just going to sort of go through it one more time just so you have the steps. To create that page and get those verb tenses, those keys you want, you had to go to the toolbox. You had to go to create a page. You had to name your page. In our case, we named it tickle. I'll just do run, even though it's already in there. I just can't think of another word real quick. I'll say run, and I'll call it run verb. I'll say OK. I don't want to create a custom grid size. I don't want to choose it from a template. I want to copy from existing. I'll go to the PRC stock pages down here, and I'll copy from the one that says, if I go to more items, I'll copy from the one that says core finish. Then I'll touch the first key, I'll change the text here, I'll change the icon here, then when I get done with that one I'll choose the next key and I'll go through change all these. So that's the first step you do. Once you're done, you say OK and OK. Now the second step is I have to make that page that I just created from that finished core page that I copied, I have to now make that pop up after an icon. So let's try to make that happen. We hit this button one time because we know it starts here. We always have to see the blank spot where we want to program something before we ever do anything else. So whenever you're programming a word, whether it's a mid-sequence like we're doing now or just a two-hit, you always want to be able to see the blank location where you're going to put it. So I can see it's right here. So now I go up here and hit my toolbox and hit setup key, and it says which key do you want to modify, and I say I want to modify this one right here. So I'm right there where the snail was. Now I don't know why, but I like doing number 2 first. So I hit number 2, and I'm not going to spell anything because if I did it would say that word. Instead I'm going to say I want you to go grab that page. So I touch the one that says page link, and you always do close. You don't want it to stay open on that page. You always close after you say something. Say close, you say which page? Well, I want the tickle verb page. So there it is. You can see it's going to set the page temporarily, so it always jumps back, and it's going to set that page to tickle verb. You can say OK now. Well, you don't want it to look like set page temporarily, so you go down here and you say change icon. I always use this spell icon to find. So you say spell icon to find, and now you just spell tickle. You look at which one you like. I like this one. And then the label now, you see we don't want it to say set page. That would be a nice picture, so we're going to change that label. Remember, we want this all on caps now because this is a mid-sequence. It's going to another button. So now we do it all in caps. Won't matter about this. Whoops, make sure you spell it right. I had a mishit there. Won't matter about the space here, but it wouldn't hurt if you put one in there. Now because it's all capitalized, we know it's going to go somewhere, but we also want to go ahead and change that key color. So we want to change that key color to green, telling the person using it that this is going to be a verb. So now I say OK, and now when I touch the finger, there I get this nice green one showing me that it's all capitalized and it's green telling me it's a verb. And when I touch it, it goes to that page where tickle is. Now you would fix these last 3 I just did tickle and tickles. But that's how you make a key. Now sometimes if you ever see that would just happen to me happen, sometimes your text settings set on its largest. I apologize about that and you don't see it on the screen. But sometimes you have to, on a device that wouldn't have happened, it's on this software. So when I hit this now, I see the capital tickle, I see it's green, and when I touch it, I get the verbs for tickle. Alright, that's how you do it. First you have to copy the page, store the verbs you want in there, and then you have to sort of set that page to the location you want to, and then make the mid-sequence look the way you want it to look. I hope that helps.